Hi, this is Josh from Expats Everywhere.
And this is Kalie.
And today, we're here to talk about expat life in Athens. We've broken it down into 3 parts: moving, working, and living. This is our review preview show.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to our review preview show.
For 2020, we're going to highlight different cities by the alphabet that you vote on. Thank you to those that have voted on our community tab. We want you to be a part, so jump on there and vote.
We'll put these videos up every other Thursday, and like Josh said, we're going to start with the alphabet, so we're going to kick off the new year with the letter A. We'll also continue giving shout-outs to those who comment on YouTube and Instagram, and as well as reviewing our channel's past interviews and previewing the upcoming interviews, which will be loaded on Sundays.
Let's get started. Remember, the cities that you could have voted on were Adelaide, Amsterdam, Ankara, Athens, and Atlanta. The winner was Athens with 39% of your vote.
Second was Ankara with 28%, and then Amsterdam with 22%.
Let's get information to you about our winner, Athens.
We're going to talk about moving to, working in, and living in Athens as an expat.
Obviously, we know that Athens has a rich history dating back to 3000 BC. It's one of the oldest cities in the world. It's Greece's largest city, and interestingly enough, the population is actually declining from both economic problems and an aging population.
But this doesn't seem to be scaring expats away. There's actually a lot of big companies like Ericsson, Sony, Coca-Cola, and it's a really good place for startups and possibly digital nomads because of the cost of living. But what about visas?
Yeah, so if you're an EU citizen, then you don't have to worry because you can stay and work without a residence permit. So we're going to focus on non-EU citizens. First, you have to obtain a long-stay visa from a Greek embassy or consulate in your home country before you leave in order to stay longer than a typical 90 days.
Then when you arrive in Greece, you'll need to apply for a residence permit at the nearest Aliens Bureau within 2 months of arrival. You want to do this right away just in case there are delays, because if you get past that 90-day visa, you actually have to leave Greece.
Check this, all your documents need to be in Greek, so it might be worth having an immigration lawyer to help you. The initial residence permit is valid for 1 year, and after that, you can review it 5 to 10 years.
In 2013, the Greek government passed a new law that allows non-EU nationals and their family members a residence permit if you buy a property valued at €250,000 or more.
Yes. Keep in mind that this kind of residence permit doesn't necessarily include right of employment.
As far as actual relocation, Piraeus is a port that's nearby Athens, so if you want to pay for a company to relocate your items, it's a good area because Athens isn't super inland.
Let's talk about working in. If you want to work, you need to make sure that you're insured and make sure that you have a social security number or an AMKA. Your company will help you if you're being relocated by a company, but what if you're self-employed?
If you're self-employed, you need to present confirmation from the tax authorities that you plan to set up a business and provide a certificate from the local court stating that your business has been legally recognized and declared.
That doesn't make it easy for digital nomads though, right? So even though we mentioned the cost of living can be enticing, the visa process is difficult. However, it is something to consider for startup businesses.
Let's move on to living in.
Athens has mild winters and hot summers, so the climate is quite appealing. You're looking at 26 degrees Celsius in August, 11 degrees Celsius in December. It's mostly dry with some rainy months, particularly the winter months, like in December. The humidity is low.
The central and southern parts are very popular for expats when you're looking either to rent or to buy. Some central places would be Plaka, Thessaloniki, and then southern would be Glyfada, Vala, and then there's also the Riviera, which is about 10 kilometers from the city center. Expect rent to be anywhere from €300 to €900 depending on size and location.
Yeah, and if you want to purchase a property in Athens, then you need to have a Greek tax number. And it's good to know that there are some rules for non-Greeks, such as you can't buy a property near a border. It's best to have a real estate agent help you.
There's a great website called thisisathens.org, which gives a lot of information about Athens. But the transportation information on there is particularly good. Athens has a metro, suburban railway, buses, trolleys, a tram, lots of options.
A single ticket is €1.40, and it's good for 90 minutes and allows you to use all of these methods. There are also day passes available. You can get a paper ticket, a card that you can top up, or personalized cards. As an expat, we recommend that you get a personalized card since you'll be living there. It's rechargeable, has your name and picture on it. You can get half-price fares, and you can reload it at machines, online, or even through your phone.
Then for education, there's the Greek public school system, private options, and then international schools. The public school system is taught in all Greek though, and a lot of families choose the private school route because they feel like the quality is better compared to the public school system. Actually, Greece has one of the highest private school attendance records in all of Europe. You do have to factor in if you're willing to pay the tuition though.
The last option is international schools. There are a number in Athens, such as International School of Athens and the British International School. If you're moving to Athens with a company, then we would recommend negotiating tuition for your children. The tuition varies and depends on the age of your children.
There's loads of historical things to do in Athens because of its rich history. You've got the Acropolis, the Parthenon, museums, all those things. Lots to offer. But the city is full of culture, so don't miss out on things like the art scene and the nightlife.
You also have the water nearby, so don't forget the beaches. The food and coffee are two things worth mentioning.
Also worth mentioning, which I like, is shopping. Just like any city, too, you have your concerts, your festivals, lots of events. There's really a lot to do in Athens.
I know that you guys want to know other aspects of cost of living, so let's go through a few common items to help you with budgeting. We get our numbers from Numbeo as well as using our experience in Athens.
Personally, I don't find eating out to be cheap compared to other countries, but the average is about 8 to 12 euro, which I think it could be cheaper. And a mid-scale would be about 40 euros for a 3-course meal for 2 people.
If you're used to New York or London prices for groceries, Athens is going to be 30 to 50% cheaper, which softens the blow from the fact that the wages in the Greek capital are remarkably lower.
Basic utilities per month should run around 140 euros for apartment fees, less than 1,000 square feet or 100 square meters. Your internet should be roughly around 40 euros a month.
If you're looking for some activities to do, a gym membership should be under 35 euros, depending on how the amenities and how fancy it is. Going to a movie under 9 euros, and an escape room should be under 20 euros per person to play. I would like to give a special shout out to Bullseye Burger. It's going to sound very American of me, but sometimes it's hard to find burgers outside of the US. Bullseye Burger has got a good burger, and it's a chain, a Greek chain, in multiple outlets in the city. So if you like your burgers and you've been there, comment in the comment section below.
Even though unemployment in Greece is still high, there are jobs for expats in certain sectors. For example, English education, tourism, and large multinational companies have room for English-speaking expats. In Athens, you'll find multinational companies which have their regional research and development headquarters there, like Microsoft and Motorola. Speaking modern Greek could be really beneficial as well as being of Greek descent, but it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, that's all for Athens. On our next review preview show, we'll be featuring a different city starting with the letter B. Don't forget to vote. Again, we want your opinion so we can get you the information that you really want. Comment in the comment section below about what you want to hear next in our videos, and we'll try to include that.
If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get updates on what's happening in the world of expats everywhere.
So how about the comment section, the comments that we've had? It was hard to only choose a few because we've had so many, so thank you for all of the comments. Let's start with Leon Murphy, who commented on our community poll. Leon wanted to hear about Athens, which is great. If there was ever a tie, we're going to look in that comment section and consider what's in the comment section after the voting. So glad you did that. Thank you, Leon, for commenting there.
Our next one is from Kieran Baxter, who wrote, "Thank you so much for this video. Just relocated from Canada to the UK, so it's very useful." And he wrote that in our UK video about real estate. So we're glad that we could be helpful to you, and good luck with your relocation.
When Kalie and I travel, we always think about if we could live in a particular city or country. This is why we started a hashtag called I'd Expat That, where we decide after a few days or so of visiting a place if we could live there. We love to hear what you guys think as well, which leads me to our next shout out from Rich Ingot, who told us that he would expat Penang, Malaysia. We traveled there and we answered some questions. We want to make sure that you guys watch that video, check out our answers to see if it's a place that you could live as an expat.
At the end of 2019, we put out a video to our subscribers of what to expect for 2020. If you haven't seen it yet, you can click in the description below or up here, it'll be floating around. Sometimes the videos will be floating, so just take a look at that. So we put this video out, and Simply Jean wrote, "Happy New Year, Josh and Kalie. Looking forward to your upcoming videos in this new year. Congrats on your 5 years on YouTube. Wishing your channel even more success this year." We interviewed Jean as she's an American expat of Chinese descent living in Singapore, and she has her own YouTube channel, so make sure you look at that in the descriptions below. Happy New Year, Jean.
Finally, we have a comment on one of our Turkey videos from Serkan Mutlu, who said, "Love Turkey." Awesome, we love it too. We haven't lived there, but we traveled there and we agree, we love it. Remember, Ankara was one of the choices that you guys could have chosen and we could have highlighted in this series.
The last part of our show is to review our past videos and preview our upcoming videos. 2 Sundays ago, we loaded an interview with an expat coach and counselor. And some people might think it sounds a little silly that you would need this as an expat, but moving to a new country can be hard. And she goes beyond the obvious culture shock and gives tips of what you can do.
Then last Sunday, we loaded a video with Andrew, the co-founder and CEO of Insured Nomads. Insured Nomads helps with expat travel and expat insurance. He explains the difference between the two and why it's extremely important to insure yourself. It's a great company who loves helping other people and gives a beneficial service.
Then this coming Sunday, we have another episode of Expat Investors, a show documenting the investment interests from a beginner to intermediate perspective.
In this episode, we will be discussing investing in real estate from overseas and how James and I bought a fourplex in the US without ever setting eyes in it. We're going to let you know the pitfalls and if it was an utter disaster or not.
Well, that's all for our review preview show this week. Bye.
Bye.